Hello everyone, this is Alistair here. Welcome back to the channel and to our sovereign city of Exporta. I want to give huge thanks to everyone that has watched our previous episodes. Thank you so much, guys. I hope that my city building process and how I think about it helps you out in whatever way. And when I mess up, it's so you don't have to. So please go ahead, sub, like, and comment so I know this is helpful for you guys, okay? Anyhow, what we will be working on today is a combination of new needs and our regular housekeeping items. So first, we will talk about our university demand and why now is the time to place it. That's right, today, not yesterday, not tomorrow, today. Then we will check up on the rest of our educational needs and plot down our third elementary school. Once we do that, we will start getting ready and plan for our initial downtown layout. How exciting! Naturally, we'll also have to check on our other services needs, specifically power, and you guys will see why. And since one of our major sources of income is our forestry industry, we will check up on Fairview Forestry Exports to see how that's going. Lastly, we will wrap up the episode with focusing a bit more growth on our downtown area. So stick around, kick back, and enjoy the ride. Let's go! Alright guys, before we do start, I just want to give you a quick update on the high school. As you can see, I decorated it a little bit, have some picnic tables, some trees, and then also if we look over here we have a library, and next to the library we have this little asset that looks like a cafeteria to me, so definitely putting that asset in there. And yeah, I think that the high school itself looks a little bit more full, and that's what we were going for, right? So yay for us. Now if I zoom out a little bit, or if I look at that, guys, that does look like a cool campus, right? All right, so let's get back to business then. Okay guys, so let's address higher education. As our city grows, it will inevitably attract industries and businesses. And as we can see here, well, there will be a point in which our commercial shops are doing so well that they will also have growth. The way that the game interprets this is via their building level. In other words, when a commercial building is at max level, the business will be at its peak, and thus require more skilled, highly educated employees. Makes sense, right? Since education is a pillar for your city's economy, I shall also mention how commercial buildings decide to level up. The most straightforward answer is simply having a higher land value. So you can accomplish this by having parks, plazas, and entertainment assets around your shops team. Another factor that is weaved into the game's mechanic would be the transportation and traffic flow of your city. Picture this, you have a lot of traffic, you have a gridlock, there is a service vehicle ready to deliver goods to a shop, and it can't get there after an extended period of time. What's going to happen is that vehicle will despawn. This will cause the shop to not receive those goods to sell, therefore not have business, therefore abandoned building, right? So going back towards the university educational demands, we have placed a regular university asset that will service 4,500 students. So for the time being, that is way more than enough due to our current city size not being like extremely high. So feeling pretty confident about this, you know, even put in a little parking lot there that feels that it's part of the asset. So yeah, definitely we'll plan ahead in putting some bus routes or modifying additional transportation needs so that, you know, students can easily get to college, right? Alrighty, so yeah, this is gonna be our first Exporta Community College, and yeah, we'll name it appropriately at a later time. So having said that, let's move on to the next topic. Upon checking our actual educational needs, we always notice that the elementary capacity versus the demand is not matched up, right? And the reason for that, guys, is if we remember, we just zoned a highly dense area for our residents. And well, obviously, you know, since we get a lot of people moving in and a lot of kids, well, we kind of have to plan ahead for that, right? So as a mental note that I'm placing to myself right now is every time that we build a new neighborhood, we're also going to make sure that we place both an elementary or maybe a couple elementary schools and a high school, because, well, we kind of have to meet the demands for that new community, right? So having said that, choosing the actual elementary, just like as in a high school, I always try to have like a little small campus. The same thing with the lower educational spectrum of the demands, right? I'm gonna try to put like some sort of playground or park or anything of the sorts, maybe even parking lots to simulate that, you know, school feel. Yeah. And that's what we're gonna be doing, guys. So remember, okay, so this doesn't happen to you. Every time you build a new neighborhood, make sure that you also be aware and mindful of the schools. All right, guys, let's move on now. Okay, guys, so it's finally time. Let's go ahead and plan our downtown. Part of that planning will include being able to foresee that the actual buildings that we're going to be plopping, the offices and that, you know, commerce that we're going to be zoning is actually well balanced. And as we can see on the demands below, well, evidently what's actually high right now is the residential demand. So before moving on, what we are going to do is make sure that we zone a little bit more higher density zoning here in this particular area, try to fill it up a little bit more. And that way we can make sure that we have that balance that we speak of, right? Additionally to that, well, it kind of gives us a sense of, I wouldn't say purpose, but a sense of fulfillment to make sure that, you know, before we move on, we make sure that we finish up this particular zone or the way, you know, to actually have those residences up. And yeah, it'll tie in together rather nicely due to having, you know, taller buildings, you know, and then having that particular transition from a smaller height of a regular house all the way to then a medium building, then to a higher building, and then to actually having, you know, those sky rises, right? Very excited to see how this skyline is going to be turning out. But as we previously mentioned, right, we kind of have to make sure that we meet those demands. So right now I'll be zoning a little bit of commercial here and there, just a tad bit. We can do higher density now. We're closer to the campus, so it should be no issue at all. And yeah, once we do that, well, then I'm pretty confident that we can start laying down some roads and so on and so forth, right? Also, we have to think where the current collector roads are going to be leading, right? So if we look at this avenue, evidently we had planned that this is going to extend towards the next tile up north. And well, that basically tells me that the higher density residential zoning would be more than serviceable, or more than adequate, I should say, right? All right, so as business as usual, as typical, we try to place some paths in between the gaps of buildings to serve not only as decoration but also as a practical purpose, so that our citizens can easily move around. So that's one of the strategies that I have always done. You know, I don't even know if I saw it from somebody, but it just makes sense to me, right? And it looks, you know, pretty cool in my opinion. So yeah, now that we're having all of this pretty much filling up, as you can see, well, our commercial demand is on the rise again, right? So we should of course take care of that, and we can actually start thinking about placing that towards the other collector that is intersecting in that way, right? So this can all be lower density commercial. That's perfectly fine. We don't need to do you know, high rises on this side. And the reason for that is because opposite to that avenue, we're probably going to build another neighborhood, right? Another community. So yeah, we cannot be having as, you know, or too many tall buildings around new neighborhoods, especially if they're going to be lower density. So yeah, probably perhaps to the right, we're going to do, I don't know, like self-sustainable homes. Yeah, we could think about that in the future. But anyway, as I was saying, yeah, this particular avenue is the one that's going to be leading towards the next tile up north, and the water coverage right now looks like it's okay. So we should start thinking about doing the road layout, right? Before we do that, let's just do a quick checkup here on the trash. Okay, let's see. We're cool for now. Okay, and let's see, here in this little peninsula, well, I'm probably gonna have to remove those trees because Yeah, I like to remove those trees. Main reason, guys, despite of what anybody may say, you know, that yeah, your tree count or whatever, I don't really mind about that. What's actually, you know, bugging me is that sometimes I forget to turn off my tree anarchy, my prop and tree anarchy off, and basically every time I build a road or place a road, you know, I'll just get an undesirable overlap. So yeah, and by doing so, I can freely place my collectors. So what I'm thinking here is to do one just straight up north, like at a 90-degree angle, and then have that serve as this particular peninsula. No. To me, it makes sense. I mean, I guess I could try other designs, but I'm gonna go with this for the time being and see how that turns out. Now, having all of this flushed out, I believe that we can actually flush it out even more. Yeah, we don't want to have any uneven terrain on the actual sky rises. It's probably gonna be weird, right? So we're gonna just try to level the ground for a little bit here. I don't think it'll be that much, because yeah, we got that grading. Let's try to maximize the actual zoning space. And since we have that collector towards the left, you know, I don't mind if there's kind of like a plateau and then you know, an off-level road just beneath that. Yeah, I would be okay with that, right? Inadvertently, without us wanting, we all of a sudden made a cliff. Oh Lord. Yeah, well, anyhow, I don't think it's a big deal right now. We're still gonna leave some sort of slope there so that we could have access to the beach. We can actually do something there, right? Maybe have some sort of tourist areas there. I don't know, that's something to think about in the future, but we'll leave that untouched for the time being. So yeah. Looking at this though, yeah, absolutely. I'll just probably stretch that all the way out, just like that. Yeah, actually quite nice, because that can actually just follow the shoreline, just like I had previously stated in other episodes, and we could have kind of like the downtown all along the water, right? So that would be beautiful. That would be beautiful. Okay, now going back over here, the grading itself, maybe I can make it a little bit more flat to match the actual beach, but I don't think I'll mess with that for now. What I can do though is extend this a little bit more to have a little bit more of coverage for zoning here, and then we can instead of having like a harsh cliff, maybe we can soften that up. Let's see. Yeah, just a little bit more like that. Yeah, because the more that we do it, what's gonna end up happening is that, well, basically we're gonna lose all of the area that we leveled up, right? Or that we leveled out, I should say. Yeah, so we're just gonna leave it like that, so it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb, like that cliff, you know. I mean, I guess it's still a cliff or a rocky hill that leads towards the river, but hey, you know what? Whatever. If anything, we'll fix that later. So let's think about this carefully. What do we want? Well, what I was thinking of doing is definitely placing some assets, like those higher towers that are not growable, and then just have kind of like some sort of road kind of like meet that other collector. For the time being, I guess this particular collector can be at a dead end, and we can just start growing right there from the middle, right? Maybe that's something we can do. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and place some roads, and then just make sure that we level, well, not level, but that we plop the appropriate buildings. Oh Lord, I'm having troubles here, aren't I? Okay, let's see. Let's just extend it towards there. There we go. I think that's good. Let's see, what buildings do we have? I'm thinking, I think it's called the Commerce Tower or something like that. It's a vanilla building, but it's one of my favorite buildings. It's well, obviously taller than any growable from the vanilla game, yet not as tall as the other assets. There we go. That's the one. This is a transportation tower. Yeah, I really like this asset here, but that's gonna be too noisy if I place it there, and we have some residences, so I'll just go ahead and plop it right there. That, yeah, that's good. I think it's a little bit too far out to, you know, connect to the electricity, but I guess I'm not very concerned, because eventually we're just gonna zone this up here or place something else, and you know, that'll take care of that, right? What I do need to do is you know, pipe as we go along, since we're not setting a grid and then zoning. We're kind of, you know, going as we go, or placing as we go. Then we have to make sure that we take a look at the pipes and electricity, you know, in a more frequent manner. Let's see here. Oh yes, it's connected now. So let's see what kind of assets will be growing out of our first offices, guys. Wow, I'm such a nerd, right? Yeah, I actually do get excited. So hopefully we'll get some beautiful buildings there. I'm not gonna paint any district zones or have any specialization or anything of the sort just yet. I'll just let it grow, let it be, and I'll just keep on my strategy, which is placing these ploppables, but I don't want them too high. I want to kind of have like that transition, and then as we move on and progress to the next tall up north, then we can have one of the, you know, bigger assets like this tower here. This one is actually good because it is it's a prominent building. I mean, it's very noticeable, and yet it's not too high, right? Not too tall, not too invasive. So yeah, I'll just place it there. Yeah, and this team is the beginning of our skyline. All right, look at that. Beautiful, very good. So I'll probably make a grid towards the right and kind of like loop around that little peninsula. Evidently, well, we kind of have to make sure that we stick to the boundaries. So yeah, we'll do that a little bit later. For the time being, I have this asset here. It's pretty cool. It's let's see here. It's not too big. It's expensive, but I think we can pull it off here. Good thing is that we have some bank, so we have the luxury of you know, doing this. Yeah. As a true short story, quick fact, team, when I started playing this, what I try to do is, you know, do this right away, and then, you know, do the regular zoning. I was playing backwards, and obviously my cities failed in a very rapid manner. So lesson learned. Alrighty. So now that I have a little bit more roads here, let's see if I can actually do that expand that I was talking about. I'll probably square it off right here at another 90. It's a small block, I guess, but it's okay. What I'll end up doing anyhow is making sure that we have some open spaces in between, whether they be just trees or maybe some plazas or anything like that, so that we can actually not have too much of a clutter. Yeah, I don't appreciate clutter, so we can definitely plan for that, right? Okay, so let's zone all of this as office buildings. Let's see how that goes. For the time being, look at that, guys. This is the beginning of our downtown. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Very good. I enjoy this a lot, team. Okay, so moving on. Maybe we can do a road off to the following the edge of this little cliff here. That would be cool, I think. But if we're gonna do that, might as well make sure that we take advantage of that and kind of like zone to that, have some zoning space. Yeah, that looks good. Little curve. Now we should go straight. Let's see. Oh, those boundaries, guys, those boundaries. Whatever, it's okay, it's cool. It is cool. Let's see, how can we solve this? Well, eventually, if we didn't have that boundary, we'd just, you know, follow the same thing that we're doing all across the edge of the map or the edge of the cliff, right? But since we can't do that just yet, I'll just do a 90-degree angle off of the other side of the road. Let's see what else. I'll probably just square it off here, right? Yeah, I'll just square it off there and just end it right there. Oh, 90. There you go. 90. Oh, and then delete the X's. Yep. Let's just remove that little tip. We could do that. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we should see what else do we have, guys. Can we stick something else in here without it being too invasive? Let's see. So that one is, yeah, that shouldn't go there. That should go more towards the left, right? Because we're trying to expand. Now that fits perfectly, but I don't want to do it. I'm not gonna do it. Let's see, the aquarium too big. Maybe I can do like an auditorium or an opera house. That's too big anyway. Let's see what else. What else? That one's actually not bad. Yeah, that one's actually not bad. I like it. Yeah, and it has a huge radius too. Where should I place it though? Where do we place it, guys? That's where we place it, I guess. Okay, so let's just go ahead and do the pipes real quick. Let's just follow the road. Business as usual. No big deal. Nothing to see here. And let's also do a road. Yeah, that's decent. No. Oh gosh. Okay. Let's see. How are we gonna do this? Just like that? Who cares? Alright, who cares? Who cares? Let's see what else. What else? Maybe we could do some of the other side. How's our demand? Our demand is decent on all three. Indicators. Let's see. No, that's too big. What is that one? Way too big. Yeah, that's gonna go. We're gonna place that, but at a later episode, at a much later episode. Yeah, that's still too big. Let's not do that. Let's see. Let me think. What's that? Oh, it's a cathedral. Okay, yeah, we can place a cathedral, but not here. It just doesn't fit. Let's see. That one's actually kind of perfect. That one's better. Way better. That's exactly what I was looking for, guys. Exactly what I was looking for. Absolutely. Look at that. You see that transition? We're gradually having higher and higher buildings. That's what I'm aiming for. Okay, so as we take a quick look towards our previously designated pocket for our service buildings, we start to notice that the actual garbage services is not cutting it, right? Yeah, so because of that, what we're gonna end up doing is we're gonna probably go ahead and do a larger waste facility. It is an asset. It is a downloaded asset, so it's not part of the game. But hey, you know what? That's fine. That's okay. We're not too picky in that regard, right? And we're just gonna plop it right there. And while we do that, at the same time, we should start looking at the other type of city services, right? Such as electricity. We have the solar draft tower, the oil power plant, and the geothermal one that we have been using. We're just gonna place the solar draft tower. Yeah, and to follow along with the pattern that we had been doing, I'm just gonna plop it next to the waste facility that we just placed. It makes sense for it to be there. It'll definitely increase the power output to our city. We will no longer be in the red. And yeah, team, very important. If we're gonna start placing those ploppables, those huge ploppables that, you know, consume a lot of electricity, we kind of have to keep an eye for that, right? Because if not, well, we'll be at an electricity shortage, right? We don't want to do that. I like how it looks as well. Yeah, this is kind of like a dirty industry there. So yeah. And going back towards our actual downtown, mini downtown, we no longer see that there is an electricity demand, right? Or an electricity shortage. Okay guys, so we actually noticed that our Fairview forestry exports actually hit level 5. And if we look at the demand as well, well, you know, basically we do have some industry there. So we're just gonna go ahead and plop down some processing buildings. And because this is one of the main, sources of our income, we're definitely going to keep on developing this, right, as we go. So we should maybe plop a few there, and then at a later time see how that's doing. Eventually we need to start thinking about the better road network that will connect over to the highway directly. So this way we could alleviate the traffic that's formulating towards the very beginning of that generic industry, right? For the time being, this looks magnificent. I like it. All right, so we're just gonna plop a second one. I'm wondering if it's gonna line up though. It'd be cool. Yeah, I don't want that. Can it line? Yes, it looks like it can. Cool. Very cool. Okay. Yeah, I'm very happy about it. I'm super happy with it. Okay, so what we can now actually do as well is in this little section, since it's kind of like oddly shaped, we're probably gonna you know, zone that out towards, yeah, we're gonna zone it as a regular forestry industry, you know, to have that flushed out and, you know, fill out. But before we do that, let's just make sure that we extend the roads here and, you know, have some sort of completion there, right? Yeah, I should probably do one down here as well. Let's see, can we? Oh, I'm not sure. Yeah, I should. Yeah, at least loop it around this side, right? Let's see, get that angle straight, get that straight, delete that little, there you go. Okay, beautiful. Very good. Okay, so going back over here, I will definitely zone here as a forestry industry, but before we do, let's just go ahead and place a quick road here. Yeah, just like that. Okay. Very good. I'm quite curious to see what sort of buildings will plop over here, or what kind of buildings will actually grow here. Did I tell you guys that I really like the vanilla forestry industry buildings? in my opinion, they look rather cool. Okie dokie, guys. And as we can see, the skyline starting to be quite visible. Well, we're very happy with that, right? We should go ahead and start to flush out the remainder part of this little right section. At least make sure that we, you know, map the roads or something, so that we could be ready to you know, to pretty much either zone or fill it out with ploppables, right? So the first thing that I'm thinking right now is to maybe have a little curve here. That way it could be you know, connected to that road up ahead. Let's see if that's gonna let me. Oh, hopefully that small piece. Yes, okay, beautiful. At the same time, well, you know, as we typically have been doing, we, you know, as we place the roads and we check for the pipes, right? Because again, since we're doing this without any sort of previous planning as far as the road layout, we kind of have to make sure that we do this so that we don't forget in the future. Else we will have some sort of water complaints or water shortage complaints, and we don't want that, right? We want to keep our businesses happy. Let's see. So how can the layout, what can we do here? I think that's a little bit too big. Maybe we can scoot it over just by a tad bit. Yeah, I think that's better. Yeah, absolutely. It gives us great opportunity to zone and also to do something else. I want to do something interesting here, something not so typical, not so grid-like. So I'm wondering what I can do. Yeah, definitely not that. I'll create a, you know, ridiculous four-way intersection. Gosh, I have a lot of troubles with anarchy. I'm gonna turn it off. I should turn it off. Yeah. Okay, so this probably here can be. No, I think I'm just gonna loop it. Have like a little square here, and maybe we'll have some sort of featured building there or something, or maybe some sort of monument, whatever. Let's see here. Okay, that fixes that. I know that it's all watered out, so I don't have to worry about that. Let's see, what can we place here? I think this is called the gherkin or something like that. I call it the dildo building. Okay, let's see. There's this one that I'm thinking about. Where is it though? It's it has like a little sphere. It's like some sort of observation tower, I think, but it's not very tall. That's the one. Yeah, I really like that one, and the coloring of it as well. It's pretty cool. It must be modeled after a real life building, I believe. I just never pay attention to whatever I download. I just, you know, if I like it, I subscribe to that asset. All right, so let's level that a little bit more so that we can squeeze in this particular tower. Go. Oh, maybe I can do it a little bit more. Oh, I hopefully that doesn't mess it up. It didn't. Nice. Yeah. Very good. It's kind of like inviting, right, towards the area. It's like, hey, look at me. Here's the invitation towards the rest of the tall buildings. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Very well. We can do commercial zoning right there. That's good. Let's do a path. Business as usual. Oh, very good. Once this is all flushed out and all filled out, it'll look beautiful, guys. It will. Okay. So let's see what else. Okay, I'll probably do a road here. And have this avenue like with a stretch of offices. No, that's not straight. That needs to go. Let's see. Yeah, maybe we can do some offices. Although we could also do commercial, right? No, but we'll do offices. The commercial demand has been lowered, so that's not a big deal. Oh my gosh, do you guys see that? Do you guys see that? Yeah, that's gotta go. Oh my gosh, I don't know how many roads I placed on top of each other. Wow. Wow. This almost makes me want to revise all of the roads that I placed down, but I'm not gonna do it because I don't want to. Perfect and perfect. There we go. Fixed. It's almost like it never was, you know, it's almost as if there was no issue at all to begin with, right? So, all right, so offices and offices. Let's see, let's do our pathing here. Let's see if I can, you know, try to center it there. Just follow the guideline or the road length. Oh, there we go. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Go. Success. Okay. Huh. That the water coverage is just enough, so that's cool, right? Okay guys, so zooming out a little bit, we can see how the city has definitely grown, right? Wow, I'm impressed. It quickly is starting to look like a real city. Very well. And look at the skyline over here, guys. All right, with that being said, this will be the cue for us to end the episode. So thank you so much for watching, for stopping by. And yeah, definitely go ahead and sub, like, comment, you know, do all that jazzy stuff that other YouTubers tell you to do if you feel like it. In the meantime, well, this is Alistair. I want you to stay safe out there, and I'll catch you on the flip side.